So this year I did the one of those like October themed challenges where you just post something like a drawing a day, and I did the Kayfabetober one, which is based off the Kayfabe Cartoonist YouTube channel, or just collab. They rule, and so this was their first was Alex Toth, and so I didn't even know Toth did Zorro. And so as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing. And this is that. So this is my first entry into this. Originally, I was going for a different drawing. It was a simpler one, and you'll see that throughout these. There are certain times where you got to go for the ones that are a little simpler, just to nail something down for the day, and but this was one of those where I just saw the image and I was like, oh man, I gotta draw that. Like that's too. I don't care how long it takes, you know what I mean? And it took about a day and a half. It bled into the second one, so you can see with the second one is a lot simpler. But here, yeah, I'm going. I have the image right next to the canvas, so I'm just drawing, like looking off, almost like a live drawing, like when you got like you have a either a figure or a landscape or something, and you're just darting from the page to the object. And I always love doing that, just kind of copying just like that from especially from people like Toth, which is why I was like, oh man, I really want to do this because they have such a good like the challenges for each day is like oof, it's almost it's hard to pick what to do, you know what I mean? And this is just there's so much action, like you can see the weight in how Zoro's like, oh, leaning back. That in and of itself, I'm like, oh man. Which again, if I would have tried to do on my, if I would have tried to do on my own, I would have had to do a whole figure and like, probably like yeah, figure drawing, the gesture, everything, all that annoying stuff. But since we got all of the mastery of Toth's work, oh man. Alex, I'm just gonna call him that. I knew him like that. Uh, Damn, but yeah, no, his use of blacks is something I try to really like. I learned from even just aping on like what you did off this cover. Since then, I feel like I'm just thinking more about my blacks and how I use them in, especially like shadow to give it just gives everything weight and depth, obviously, but And yeah, this is coming up on the end here. Pretty much, I did color it, but since that it didn't save the video for it. I only have the picture, so I could talk over that. But yeah, here I've messed around with the font. That's another thing that throughout these, I'm like, how faithful should I be to the original drawing? And I was like, trying to get through this. We're just having fun here. So it's like, Zorro, that's it. And yeah, no, that's pretty much it. So this is the first one. Again, then after this, I colored it. I said I was gonna shout out the brushes. This I did with a normal brush, but with the actual color ones, I put it into another file that gives you like a whole texture. Like as you see, that looks like it's on paper when it's not. And then on top of that, inked it so you can see the proportions are a little different. That's when I saw that I was like, oh, the bodies are a little off. The more that guy's head was a little big. I forgot what the bad guy's name was. His head was too big and Zoro's hat was too small. But yeah, and then it just colored it through that. They're called Debaser, or I'll link them. But yeah, and that's it. This is the first one. Thank you for watching. Bye.